电脑。这是我们的一个1:1的燃烧体系。然后我们的每个燃料元件里面有1.2万个燃料颗粒。然后我们的每颗粒呢又有5层结构，最中间的是我们的二氧化硫燃料，它的加工难度很大。现在我们已经实现了国产化的生产。
目前，全球正在建设的核电站是以3代技术为主，而比分裂技术安全性更胜内存的4代核电技术，各国都正在积极研发论证。高温制冷锅里装载着的这一颗颗燃料小球，也代表着我国核电技术的创新和引领。安全是核能技术发展永恒的主题。如今，核能技术也正在向着更加小型化、更贴近生活的目标迈进。
到左边的这一台呢，就是专门用一个东西供暖的管子，叫做永磁式地方供暖器。为什么叫永磁式呢？我们可以看到它的核心体系呢是有一个圆柱状的水池，而中间的放的是核燃料。这么一台永磁热堆呢，做了个它的体积只有不到正常核电站的10分之一，而别小看它体积小啊，这么一台装置就能够满足50万人的终极功能需求了。
这水是高26米，直径是10米，然后我们堆放在中间可以产生相应的热量。我们水池可以具备它的安全和环保的性能。我们堆芯产生的96度的一个温度，然后会通过抽取散热，然后递到我们纯粹的管网当中。这样一个供暖水可以替代17万吨的标准水的一个消耗，是实现国家双碳目标的一个重要的一个工程。
您正在收看的是《招魂天下》。共享3体技术，廊前隆重发布新发展观。烟好酒，唯客是尊，践行3体战略，奋力建设烟好酒意识、唯客是尊意识、价值创造意识、大家的郎酒意识、服务美好生活意识。郎酒始志为世界奉献美酒，不断满足消费者的美好生活需求。上海车展新车闪耀，红旗定位化，红旗新能源，红旗电动车3大子品牌推出全新力作，红旗定位化，全新红旗接受全球致敬，传承经典，打造独特体验。红旗新能源，红旗1.1秒开启红地，融合3大魅点，将于11月正式上市。红旗 T202首发亮相，将于2024年2月正式上市。红旗电动车。红旗 H6荣耀上市，全新独特亮点，以您豪华新季。新红旗 HS8、红旗 HS3和全新红旗 HS7同步亮相，全新架构，全新产品，舒享美妙出行，美丽体验，美好生活。
张天下新闻继续。银保监会昨天举行新闻发布会，披露1季度我国银行保险主要业务保持稳步增长，风险比例稳定，整体充足。
银保监会最新统计显示，1季度末，我国银行业金融机构资产总额397.3万亿元，同比增长11%；保险公司总资产28.4万亿元，同比增长10.5%；保险公司赔款与给付 负支出4932亿元，同比增长9.3%。统计还显示，一季度末，银行业金融机构不良贷款率1.68%，同比下降0.09个百分点。一季度，商业银行累计实现净利润6679亿元，同比增长1.3%。
银行保险业务是个平台，主要监管指标对于科技事件，银行保险机构也会向银行承认风险评估
银保监会的数据还显示，一季度金融服务实体经济市场持续提升，支持改善民生技术不断加大。数据显示，一季度制造业贷款新增2.2万亿元，同比多增3819亿元；民营企业贷款新增3.7万亿元，同比多增1万亿元；普惠型小微企业贷款新增2.3万亿元，同比多增8088亿元。银行保险业还持续加大对新能源、人工智能、生物制造等先进制造业和战略性新兴产业的资金支持，促进高水平科技自立自强。在投放力度加大的同时，实体经济融资成本继续下降。
一季度普惠型小微企业贷款平均利率在上年下0.18个百分点，民营企业贷款平均利率较上年下降0.06个百分点。
今年以来，金融支持改善民生力度也在不断加大。一季度，创业担保贷款同比增长17.6%，教育行业贷款同比增长17.5%，卫生和社会工作贷款同比增长18.5%。
个人住房贷款投放利率加大，92%利率支持购买首套房，合理满足刚性需求。
财政部昨天发布地方政府债券发行情况。
数据显示，2023年3月，全国发行地方政府债券8900亿元，其中一般债券2548亿元，专项债券6352亿元，平均发行期限13.6年，平均发行利率3.05%。1到3月，全国发行地方政府债券21097亿元，其中一般债券5916亿元，专项债券15181亿元，平均发行期限15.1年，平均发行率。
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon. Okay, now let's talk about some basic things again every morning. The usual is a ritual. And how do we? Sometimes the naughty version of the harden their mind to cover whatever secrets they have or hidden agendas. But I think you cannot be changed in talk, so what they want to cover. So let's talk about some important things. Because every day people are including, they know the truth about this. Every entity is including, they have to include their own. But you will be affected more than certain others. So let's look at some of the seas that in nature. You see that on the North Sea, and then after the North Sea and the Atlantic coast, all the seas are basically trapped on the Channel coast, and then France will be affected. A million inhabitants globally. Rise is likely to take place on some portion of the coast. I heard that include the coastline. In time I go to Europe, tell the people what to do about the rising of sea level, the bad weather condition. The bad weather, of course, is obvious in the global winter and the lockdown, the meltdown of global winter. That means people not able to go out for days and weeks. Months are not really. Day after tomorrow, still remember. And maybe she'll remember the day after tomorrow. So very good. We need that kind of understanding forward. But still, I think, still remember the day after tomorrow. And it's a good shift. I think this Caribbean. And then also we have surplus some canned food, maybe spaghetti or whatever they like. And it has to prepare with the artificial food, the vegetarian food, and the plant-based food. Now you see Singapore is getting ready for all this, so they can export to France. They can buy lots of it, plant-based food, potato chips, cookies, biscuits, all kinds of food that the France people like to eat, including European food. What European like to eat. So they go and travel and see for themselves to get some ideas from the European counterparts or Eastern Europe, Western Europe, what are the food they like to eat? Very interesting, right? So you go and see or compare and then try to export them to Europe. Because Europe now the rate is quite high. So export to Europe can make lots of money for Singapore. Since they have all the contacts, whether it's government companies, or government-related companies, or private companies, or some garden, seaweed, promote seaweed, and at the same time you must get supply, the source of supply, supply chain, and promoting seaweed. Not only you can sell this back to the South Korean, Japan, so to Eastern Europe, to Western Europe, and also nuts. So many MDG was made that we can repackage it or whatever. So all this can export to Europe. Europe is a good friend of Singapore. So of course UK also, but Europe is a big market. There are lots of. And supporting it doesn't mean help NATO to fight against the war. It's more about economic trade. So put aside military because that one is just the last resort, but you put it in the first resort. Last resort becomes the first priority. Not the right. So food energy becomes very problem for you. So let them die. Make money first. For the next 7 years, Singapore company also must make money. So it's not about whether they will start they also want to make money. The war will never end. China also will make money to do it. So China says that Europe is still a good friend of, EU is a good friend of China. So, see, every country wants to make money. Every entity want to make simple concept to grow economy. So that's very important. So next look at they are actually protected. So there are a lot of opportunity basically in Europe. Energy, additional energy, alternative energy, and recycled energy, with suitable batteries, recycled battery. All these are really processed, but the speed can be fast. And more in terms of consumer, you must pass it to the consumer, reuse it, consumer commercial industry. So having laws to encourage all these companies to produce green energy, green energy kind of whatever. So LNG and nuclear fission is not really, but since they want to have, and I think Germany is the last one on the nuclear power plant. So again, you can have not to have nuclear fission, but to have LNG. I don't really get it. I don't really kind of can't suggest, but since many countries, even in Vietnam, they have LNG, and many countries they want to make money from LNG. As I say, making money is important. Wars have been going on many years. People still make money, whether Iraq war or whether it's this so many enrichment, all the recession or retrenchment and all this. So many during all these years, but still people live, people still make money. They don't think about how to make money. So it's just that we learn how to adapt to the situation and anticipate comfortable, prepare and counter defend, but don't burn by being over ambitious in the wrong way and to be looking at it. Local world-class talent export their talent, their employability, or their employment, or their career, or themselves to Europe and work there and get lots of money. Just chances to. So it will take about a few years to bring down the currencies by what I don't know. You will bit by bit. So yeah, they are still benefit. How many people do it? Not really, right? So at the meantime, make money now. From now until you can export things. Export lah, don't bother. Because at the end of the day, the masses of the energy dependency and the food dependency is still there. That doesn't mean that Singapore export lots of things, whether it's food, energy, or whatever, to Europe means that the Europe will be able to fight against it. No. Because the higher cost of living is a global thing. Higher cost of living is a global thing. So everywhere there will be increased plus and more increase or less increase. That's all. There's no reduce increasing. Everything will increase. It's whether a bit depend on percentage. Some is 5%, some is 10%. Some things are more expensive in Philippines than in. So we compare about we not compare others. We compare about the higher cost of living in a global manner. That's very important. When you want to do your own living or whatever, you live there or whatever. So not everything is in between is cheap. Some things are even more expensive than in Singapore. One, because Philippines is a sea route, no land route. Some things in Malaysia can be even more expensive than in Singapore. So Singapore at the moment, since we are living here and born and die, we have to continue to not stress or pressure, to try to check all the prices and try to press down. Because every day we have to eat what, we have to use what. Can we not use what are the alternative things to find the solution? Things not able to manage, then we have to find a solution to an alternative consumer products or commercial products and industrial products. But what to do? Everything is recycled, materials, and resources. Everything is, we have no way to manage. There is a link from one to the other. So protect nature and people is important. Let's see what else. That's about it. So next, so LIDA, again, this can be an interesting kind of a guide. Use laser to render the world in 3D. So, now you will no longer use this technology in this kind of smartness. So again, continuing of using technology in the consumer, commercial, industrial, I say technology means to everything. It's also something like the world that is like oxygen. Wherever we go, there is technology. Wherever we go, there is technology. Wherever we see, there is technology all around us. So we have to continue to use technology to improve. Then that's all for this. And then so again Paya Lebar. So this mixing mascot being killed. It hits them, it's a goal. So not easy when you do this and still you can do it. Drive smoking when you see It's entirely from China. So you see, everything is coming in because they want to, sometimes they don't like the way they live their life, too restrictive or not dictatorship. So they come to Singapore, that's why a lot of them they like because they still 讲华语，讲中文，讲华语。Georgie is something to look at the self-sufficiency. Still, a lot of people having 2 jobs, 3 jobs, work 24 hours or 12 hours, 18 hours. And as I said, many people move into the disruptive industry because in not taxis but rather because in this Philippines sometimes they are restricted in the numbers of Grab drivers. So unfortunately they don't have the industry in the Grab food is not very good employment. When the Grab buys a motorcycle before Grab, which are drivers, Grab riders to bring people around. It's not applicable in Singapore. It's maybe not applicable in other countries. But again, that's it. Having appointments in time right really would be fantastic. Just you to sit there and just stand by just in case, and then the vehicle will automatically bring the person from one place to the other, the guests or the passengers. So they 15 minutes, they share some of the financial service and digital economy and technology innovation, a lot of exchanges. And also promoting the digital cities. But actually, we also honor the local talents, but also focusing on the space if we can learn something about it. But at the same time, we focus on the emergency crisis economy. Emergency crisis coming at the moment is not really good, but in August, September, all these 3 months, we'll see again, but it's not a kind of cold snap, it's not a temporary thing, it's going to be regularly prolonged and it's appearing. Sometimes you don't see in your country, but other countries are facing. Sometimes you don't get to see in certain months, but doesn't mean that it's no bad weather conditions. Like could be the sea and below the sea base and also below the sea that people can see, or below the lands that they cannot see. So let's move on. Still a new economy. How to buy lots of recycled batteries or sustainable batteries. China will be the one who produces lots of batteries. Other countries can also start producing. Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia also be one because everything is focusing on hungry now. Son, around 8 years old already. I think it's the same as mine, right? 2014 and 2014. Yeah, 8 years old. 2003, 2002. Maybe she's older than son. Yeah. Like we're quite nearly done. Nerdy. one electric car is the biggest batteries. Mercedes-Benz also have. Mercedes-Benz in Singapore selling for $500,000. One is nothing unusual. With pure electricity, with batteries, there's nothing. It's not the. It's not with battery. F1, F2 racing with batteries. Recycle batteries. Pure electricity. And it will help to promote the performance of the vehicles. Improve the research and development of the battery. AI venture. So this is AI and X. Different setups is so to look at some competition. So each kind of AI technology is trying to over the other. It's actually the data that the data that is inputted in the server, the quantum technology, all these things, and which technology is better than another and trying to continue to improve. So that's good. Because in the end of the day, with competition, you make each company to perform better in that technology. So again, it can be quite, you can see Western having a few, and then China having one. So what some of the China companies trying to establish here may be restricted by the China central government. So Singaporeans may apply for nearly 3 months. Last time was 3 months possible e-visa for Japan travel. So apply shorter visa with tourism proposal. Also eligible to apply. Other applicants are eligible are residents. So again, also warn applicants of only those who entered after 7 days holiday from the date of getting are required to log into display. So when you enter, then you can apply. But it's not really, many people feel it. So if you go and see, so this one, or you can actually in time, let's say it's a gradual opening up of the country, and when it's much more convenient, then I will consider all this, but also can, I'm not sure if I can apply for visa in person. So one you can go personally to apply at Japan overseas establishment for multiple. Of course, the living is not very good. The hotel is expensive. That's why I say at time. And also in this internet, and they have this manga on there. So when you go there, they can identify which are lost and you just find it. But the environment is not conducive. It's like you don't have a toilet, you have to go to a public toilet, that kind of situation. So join the tour not really, it's always the same thing, and everybody eat the same thing. It's not. You go to family mart, we also eat it. It's any time, you can hang out around there when you're feeling cold weather, it's time to just go out. So it's a good time, it's a good place to also to adapt and go through life living in Japan. Let's say 3,500 millionaires become Singapore did they contribute together? So these are all some advertisement people wanting to get PR as agents, for people wanting to get PR. So as agents, companies setting up agents, there are a lot of things that they can continue. They call their contacts or whatever. They can invite lots and lots of people and help them to apply. As I say, you must always try to think of a way to, you know, continue to contact, your overseas, the connectivity in the right way. Your circles of friends, who are the ones, of course not circles of friends, who are the people that connects them and can make money. Those cannot make, of course, also still important because you need friends in the right way, but in a very careful manner also. So the receipt in Singapore this year, you know how much? Spend at least 6 million US of investable assets. So you buy condos, buying condos, and buying condos. That's along the way many people will be squeezed out by this older generation being taken care of, but how really they are being taken care of. And for those that are 60 and above, how about those going to be 60, 30 plus 30? So these people, they have to continue to try to look ways to help. So debate in the parliament for the youth and all this. It's not only about local world class talents, and also about employable in the overseas to market Singapore talent overseas in places that whether it's whatever country and in Europe. So that's why I said it's not only establish your own local world class talent, but to market. And so how to market? Understand now what is the need, what Americans need from Singapore, what are the talents, what about EU, what about UK. I say sometimes now I really move more to China. Really not really talk so much. So I just say what sometimes I need to write, because there's still a lot of things there are different conflict differences tension between America and China. But as I said, in the end of the day, still have to continue help many go to Southeast Asia countries. So I always say many people do not want to try to work together to try to make more money together. They and hang around and not doing anything. It's no secret that quite considerable consumers increase their flow of income. So that one plus how to manage this two is very important to make them employable not only to domestic in Singapore but overseas. Some of them are single but they're willing to go overseas. Lecturers, trainers, be it as foreign workers, be it somehow by the region. So again, like I said, sometimes also they can connect people want to migrate to other countries, to America, to EU, or whatever. And then people who want to migrate, you can have people that are China civilization. They come here to inquire about migration to other countries, not migrate to Singapore also. So you can promote it. So have more and more connect. Then we keep the bit by bit. Arranging money here, the stay, the house, everything they get, the whole package. Because everything is so not really style there, but protect them in some ways. At the same time, making money with them, while protecting them, not to be destroyed. Since they are demanded by the not certified, so they can protect them. It means that those 3,005 people, let's say, why destroy? Make money from it. They're not only eligible to apply for citizenship and who have now become eligible. So show me the money, like going to be. So there are ways to look at everything in a much more positive manner. Make money and then share some money with the rest of the world. So So next, Xiaomi 13 Ultra will be the best smartphone. So the Leica again, I say have another kind of brand. Go explore, go and find contact with this company on other than Leica or Leica, Leica or whatever. And then have this type of lens company, work with them, invest, promote to all these iPhones, Apple, all the brands, and I'm very sure, and all the lens, webcam, everything. You can make lots of money having a share or a stake in that company. So all these are that you must find alternative, not only always depend on just one monopolize. And this is going to be forever. Because lens is a very important consumer commercial beyond the year 2030. Even the AI technology, when you have robots, they may need to have the lens. So these are things. Having consumption always, when I say when always, we always move into here, move into that, move into that, move into here. And then last time I say something and I don't know. I think they didn't do it. So webcams in the monitors already achieved. Continue to focus on that webcams on the monitors, what kind of medical monitors also can be used, can be used. So next, the rest of is equally high-end, powerful battery. The battery, recycle batteries, and all this are improving. Some battery can last for 1 year, no need to charge. All this is for even this, this Elon Musk that invest in this. A lot of money is going to invest in Tesla and all this. Wireless charging is another. Encourage China to continue to research and develop wireless charging. And then RAM and storage, ROM, and then chips, the CPU, ROM, CPU. All these are continuous trying to, and if they think of a way to design and create, that's good for them. Billionaire. So don't always think that they are already going. Continue to have learn. Every day is a learning thing. Even you sit there, you can learn many things through the internet, or even just walk. You have to know just not anyhow think on the right way. So this year the Chinese make use of Sony sensor and nitrogen and so again all these are about improving the features and then high-end enthusiast technology that's just not cheap that have it in all the mobile device and all the devices. So and OLED also become one of the important thing and also the hertz 120 hertz OLED. I think there are much more at that time I remember if I'm not wrong is 160 hertz. So I can so the Xiaomi is really very popular in all over the even in Philippines. I keep promoting, not really. Realme need to do this very hot. There another one, Infinity, is very interesting. It's very low price. I was kind of tempted because that one is more for gaming. But I don't know whether it's consistent with the performance of the others. So, and that's a very interesting. Of the and the clock mode and also the battery and a H, the battery. So normally in time not only 5,000 to go to the kind of run 5,000 to 8,000 to 10,000. So in terms of able to just charge a little very fast charge and you just either with wires or with the wireless charging. Wireless charging also can be performed in performance, speed, in speed itself actually than in performance. And then after that, you can last because now the mobile device use a lot of energy to do all the tasks. So that's why you have the performance of the lasting of the batteries. So all this is it for only 799 years. That's in case of virgin leather. Even the materials, recycle materials, recycle is really um, everybody managed to thank for their hard work, their achievement and their not ambition that they help to convince Britney and many other companies in the world, not only China, but everyone, to make everybody's a better place to live. And therefore you also have virgin leather. So everything is software features, some of them software gonna say and then performance and then Huawei unfortunately they cannot go to Google Play, so they have their own something like Google Play to download and to play the games and just they can make iPhone is just phone is just one of their business. There are many other business. And to 5G they can make this is just part of it. Maybe they try to be much more a bit there but not very aggressive. So what are the ways to make it aggressive? Like I said, having their own operating system and having their own and using technologies. The technology is more on camera, focus on camera. That's why I said they can invent their own camera, Huawei lens or whatever. And many things like I said, we said this recycle batteries or batteries, improve batteries. These are most the and using software technology to in their mobile device. So this normally is the three most important ones: an operating system, the chips itself, and the performance. So the lens is very important. You can have Huawei lens in all the not only on mobile device but in all kinds of device. And if American Airlines don't want to buy it, they have all this Xiaomi and they have all these Chinese brands, Oppo and this. And or if you don't want to have a China lens, you can have another American or Western lens. So you can have three different types of lens for them to decide. Some they like to have their own lens. Oppo can have their own lens, OEM. The manufacturer could be Huawei, but they never say it's Huawei lens, it's Oppo lens or model 123 lens. So it's quite expensive, but I said along the way it will be much more with the cloud. So it's more about focusing on technology in the mobile device, so the cost can be higher a little, but in time it will be very applicable for all users. Even $100, 130 mobile phone will still use AI technology. So as I said, it's always speed in the production, in the research and development, in the improvement. So that instead of waiting 10 years, 20 years in order to enjoy that lifestyle, everybody, global, talking about masses, speed, the effective levels, and the speed is the efficiency level, the effective levels in the consumer market to reach out everybody, not only in Singapore but in Southeast Asia and all over the world, mass by NVIDIA, and also followed by the this in terms of consistency. I think this the numbers of people will be using regularly, right? And followed by the intensity, more people will be using every day. It becomes part of daily activities, livelihood, living condition and lives. Sometimes we can help them. Remember the one with mobile device from afar remote can do the setting. Before you come back already, the place is cool. You can have in future AI technology enable in prison and in the smart green and clean. And when you adjust and auto and calibrate. You buy a room that is facing the west sun. You can auto calibrate the temperatures of the room according to how you want. It can set to the minimum and then constantly to cool down the room, and then when you come in it goes setting according to your own 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% body heat. All this are really it's not like 不要幻想啊，不要 no more already. You see the space and everything. You tell people 幻想 last time because of politics, many corrupt officials, people do a lot of illegal things. And now nobody knows, nobody interested. So they can dream, they can imagine. Everything we see is imagination. So again, all this only to tell people Chinese have weaknesses. So no need to always blame politics to say that they have weaknesses. Human beings who don't have weaknesses. So no need to say it's a civil society, they're fighting the lands. Just they themselves want all this. And in the end, we just try to push the blame on this and that and this. That's not what we to create chaos in the society doesn't work in Singapore because everybody has to think about make money, but not only for themselves. Individually, everyone can make money by themselves. Cannot. Now it's in Singapore, it's a united. We connect here, connect there, connect there, connect here. Everybody together, make money together. And for the good times, and now not say for the bad times. It's a difficult times. So to try to help the government so that everybody can go through overcome their difficulties. Know your own self, know your own country, so that you can overcome. It's not downfall, it's not negative action, it's positive action. It's not today 4-story HDB shop house selling for this 12 million. So HDB shop house has become a very popular 4-story, 4 single story. So a lot of this actually I want to buy. It's very fun to have shops below and upstairs, second floor, third floor, fifth floor. It's like that one. Not this one, there's one much better one in Tampines. That one is in Toa Payoh, right? And then that one is slightly higher. Then you also have, I think, Ang Mo Kio also that one is Toa Payoh, that one is shop. Quite fun. Something like that. Even in Simi also they have. That one is here. So all this is fun because you can have, but again, accessible now. The bad weather condition, everything changes. The value of the property, the value of the property. So here will be fetching higher price in the rental and in the sale. So in the end of the day, you must consider many factors. Considering about it doesn't mean it's a foreign. This what I call this 5-room flat or single the kind of square kind of shape and this type of shape means it's expensive that because now it's the demand. It's also based on the supply demand. So you don't also place in demand. But sometimes now it's more as time goes by, people will consider about the bad weather condition, what is more convenient. So every block have to make their own block a better place to live in. No need to whether it's outside and whatever, make their place much more clean, hygiene, sanitation. Don't have too many cats, too many dogs. Manage their dogs and cats and all this, so that in the end of the day, the value in future want to rent, rent a fetch a higher price. They follow market price, if other people can increase to their market, above the market price. So this portfolio of 4 single companies, some more street 44, that price of 12 million in expression interest until 17 million. another place that is within walking distance of the Tampines East downtown. So again, there are more of the downtown line people are using. You see that in Tampines, people walk that side line. They from the bus stop, to reach the bus stop, they walk to the downtown line, they go to the downtown. So many people are not going through the normal one of the east and west or west and east kind of MRT, the green one, but more in terms of more on the uh, more in terms of the other lines that is defined, that is at that place. So that's why Tampines is still so the same maybe who knows in Woodland, I don't know how the lines really goes. I never go around explore. But as I said, in the end, I'm still here, trying to shift here and there. Because I look at many things on the back when and downstairs. Tampines is a very good place, but you must station around the area near the MRT station. Because I like everything have. The Samsung always like to gather together for business. So Tampines is a good place to buy things and everything. But yeah, except that you have to go to NTUC, that one you could be lifestyle, go up a high floor. So what happened if the lift got jam and everything. So you can also buy temporary things at Giant. Giant is too small. So I don't know. There was some areas you can do, but maybe they can increase the floors of the of this shop houses, which is possible. You just increase the fat and everything without that. So Tampines is still people living in condominiums and rental. We have hospitals, and people from Tampines will be going there from that direction or from the Bedok, they call it, I don't know what the area called, and then you go from there. So it's still a quite attractive area, but I really like since I'm here. It's more on the bad weather condition that's much more important. But I have to make this place because I'm aiming this for the next 15 years. Because this place is habitation. Because after the 15 years, beyond year 2035, then it will be good to have another property around the year. Why I need to have I mean, when I have my retirement, it's still early. No need to be so greedy. Sometimes you just be patient and just more importantly and many things, important things than always thinking about making money for myself. I already have money in hand. They're not self-sufficient, try to be self-sufficient for my kids. I am very this content last time was working out here. I don't have to enjoy the good food with you. But that one later on along the way. So Lillian try to remember about not always thinking about money. There are sometimes some things more important than just talking about and talking about money. Talking about money. This one maybe in time share. But this one is a big tiny house, invest 100K to build tiny homes and work even in the evening. Because this is a good one. Tiny homes that is like let's say last time I said container living container office. So people looking into to downsize and things like that. Tiny house that you can people use in many places that are the land are much more vast. And then this tiny designing building in many tiny countries. It's not a shoebox house. My parents when we was on holiday, Victoria Great Ocean Road, Singapore Flying, returning to Singapore. So I think can be in Malaysia, ecotourism, and how to build a community. Let's say Malaysia, all these tiny homes can be built a little or new for rental. In JB, focus on JB and on the rental or the sale. So a graduate from another business with sleepiness and fasting and live somewhere in nature. So in Singapore, tiny home, I'm not really sure where to go, but it's a concept whereby we can help to design. Even sometimes a house we can even build in Singapore. I remember the one yeah, in this Tampaksi, they have a hotel with a bed, two beds, one bed on top, one bed below. So this is a thing that in Singapore, some of the hotels may be doing like that. I didn't take a picture of this. I saw someone took a picture with the bed below and the bed followed by the rest of the facilities. And it's kind of to make a very small, the small but like more people to sit. When you stay one person, when you stay one person, when you have two person, then you stay two person. More space to stay within the confine of the room size. So you can have like 20 square meters. You can have 20 square meters. You can have two floors go up or two beds. So this is so very important that you hang away and then one for lighting so that this will be like Elon Musk and then they do the setup and everything against the bad weather conditions and the basic of having home is available, the basic everything prefabricated, recycle materials, resources, and you can provide this to them in recycle materials and resources. The tiny home has become something that sometimes is also a kind of extension in the environment. Reconstitute wood and recycle plastics. The tsunami of the governments, besides prioritizing the use of sustainable materials, construction also needs to be eco-friendly, which is waterless and then rainwater for shower. So some people say, oh, so good, they have to pay a bit more. So, but you have like this. First, it's a smart building. This is more applicable for places other like in Philippines, in Malaysia, other countries. But in Singapore, more on having smart, green, and clean. Even tiny homes can be smart, green, clean too. That is what they are try to show the sustainability effort. Yeah, and it's a global innovation challenge. So just trying to say that how to make homes sustainable. So as most if you live in other place, you can have that. But again, more important is to weather the bad, to counter the bad weather condition. So this is very important because the bad weather condition is not going to be that forgiving, whether it's heavy rainstorms, heavy snow, or whatever. And then there's sunlight, so the pop out for making it it's sweet, how water is sweet. So my advice is eat people. Or if they can eat, if not eat crunchy 吃自己吃喜欢，早上吃点西餐，早上吃水果最好。Dragon fruit, apple, chopped, grind, and fruit juice, or dragon fruit, eat the soft one, or eat the grapes. And after that, then in the afternoon, you can eat rice, then tea. Like I said, in time you cannot always go crowding. when you make a big one, just you chew soft meat, soft chicken, all these things, fried chicken. All this at in time, Singapore is still a good life. That's why it's still some the rent that one room or two room kind of situations. Still, all this because they don't have that much money. Continue to live, what to do? Live for years, control your mind, and you try to push that. But all this financial, so what to make a life difficult, and say they are just playing politics and even dollars. And I think they get it something. Just get to your life. Every day there are a lot of money to earn for a lot of illegal activities and all this. So don't bother. For more than 50 years, many that are still around the older generations and even the younger generation, they continuing doing their things and all this. It makes no sense. It makes no sense what they are doing. It makes no sense what they are doing. Because in the end of the day, if they try to be as original and then take poison and all this, doesn't help. Everybody must continue to live. We all live to live. We don't live to die. So important don't always look at your life miserable, look at hide their secrets or hidden agenda. Because you cannot be doing in court nowadays. You are just war in by the Singapore government in that society. But still, I think we look but say sometimes they may think this way, they may think that way, and then they say God would I still go out but I needed to just every day they will want me to go out and exercise and sometimes they everybody is being brainwashed, programmed, and conditioned. And when everybody is being brainwashed, conditioned not by the device, by their daily activities, their livelihood, their lifestyle, their living conditions, their, their livelihood, their living conditions, and their lives. Everybody is brainwashed by their daily activities, their livelihood, their living conditions, and their lifestyle. So when you play politics, at the end of the day, everybody still pay GST. Why they have to make their own life difficult? No use, right? By giving other people's, they think they want to make other people's life difficult. Other people's life not difficult. You have to learn to manage. That's why as healthy bicycles, they must be responsible. Because in the end of the day, if they continue like this, they cannot live, they cannot survive for the next 30 years if they're still around. Really, they must continue trying to frighten me, trying to accuse me. All this make no sense because I'm always there to help people, to provide answers for many people. If I'm not here, I don't have to provide answers. I say you're good luck, you only sell 自相残杀 whatever, but I don't. I have to share, to continue to share, to be responsible and share the wisdom with everybody. All this, if we are not together in positivity, we are not able to overcome the poor. Because all this, in order to live, money, um, in order for everybody to continue to live, we must make sense of everything. Not because of using device, knowing the device. They're just trying to fool me. Look at outside. You want me to say they are more deaf. They are not deaf. Death at the moment will come in time. Of course it will come in time. On the bad weather condition, not by me. I wouldn't agree. But again, during this time we must continue to live with a sense of meaning and sense of purpose. And we must continue to make some money if we are not able to maintain um, our expenses or to manage to overcome our expenses, but not at the negative expenses and consequences. Creating all this hate on people, creating seven sins, activate their inactivated senses makes no sense because I'm not trying to set myself up. Let's broadcasting on what is really going is about, what is the real meaning of life. When I was in the service office, they asked me, what is the meaning of life? It's not to live the life of the richness or the, you have to live. The meaning of it, to live the life, the meaning is making sense of everything and the purpose. Even I, a security guard, I still live stream. Maybe people not happy, maybe say, you're nobody lah. Why want to create the divider between the lesser and when they are have not? Not everybody, not everybody don't have. You can say everybody in the world at the moment do not have. Then how can they be the lesser? Or even the entities, any entities. Doesn't mean America have. It's not why they want to trade with other countries. Every countries need to trade with other countries. They are all have not. So in the end of the day, they do not have the wisdom and they try to have this kind of device to feel thank you. But they don't have, they are not able to use the device to feel bad. They feel nobody. And they feel better because when they don't use the device, they feel ego. They don't need to harden their mind with hatred, destruction, negative thoughts, or whatever it is. So in the end of the day, people like me, all these 12 years, that's why they're trying to say they make a mistake. They try to destroy the because we are all many people with talents. Everyone with talents. As long as we born in this earth, everybody are talented. Not say we are not talented. We swim across millions across, and we are being accepted into the ovaries. Just one of the million. So everybody is considered very lucky and able to show something to themselves, make meaning for themselves or meaning to the world. So it's like being, so what's the meaning of life? Make themselves meaning in a positive manner. Okay, if they want to deceive or look at it. So big reception and encouraging more than 600 interest in booking the tiny house. Okay, so it can be promoted in certain areas, same rates, okay. Saturday, Sundays, bookings and still expensive, it's also expensive. I think there's one in Singapore right now, having bursaries or destructive travel. This will be also a kind of tourism for ecotourism, for people who like to come and see what is it like to live in a hotel that is ecotourism, eco-tour hotel. But it will be better to have a smart way for the old people. So, anh cho đi ai hỏi IKEA, anh lao ra ai hỏi IKEA, it's controversial. So sometimes your smart way cleanliness is not only for all ages, it's also for all ages, whether it's children, whether it's for elderly, that kind of thing. Thinking is pet prep for work. And then if their laptop will like choke seats in the library, that's how they live. So that's not the way to do it. So remember how I say about 24 hours, like nobody is doing it. You can have done it, they can do it in last time, all those industrial area where someone can rent maybe a private library, 24 hours or at least calculating hours for a student to study. Because everybody knows it. Why don't you go home? You go home. They cannot. They have to study and every day they get disturbed. And just because many of them here, they look at themselves, no future, they want to bring everybody down, bring their future down, other people's future. That's not right. Because everybody, where's the doctors? Go doctor lah. Now destroy doctor, nurses. Then where are the doctor, nurses? Long tong si Amoy, si Amoy, Indoy, Indian one. Some of themselves. They have the Singapore doctors and nurses mind. You want the Indian one, Vietnamese one, Indonesian one. What has happened to ask themselves? What has happened to them, to their all the government hospitals, all this? Bo bian, those money destroyed the Hmai local world class talent. Then, what about the rich? Of course, those that can manage to make it, they are Singaporean, but they live in their hospitals are private hospital, 1,000 one night or 2,000, 3,000 more expensive than the hotels. They can afford. What kind of world you want Singapore to be? That is not the right way. Because they say you're squeezing out 30-30. And now the ministers are also squeezing out. You want to have rich, yes, but what about the 30 that are moving from 60 to the end? And then how about those that are before reaching the 60? So again, more important, manage the press, make sense of everything. Less use of device is better. It always try to create stories of me that I'm just one of them. How many percent? Very small percent. Is it fair? It is not fair, but I don't increase it. I don't see the need to increase the infection in Singapore. Because whatever it do, it looks like we are all focusing on the wrong diversion equal on the main thing. Because if people do illegal things, let them do. If all the money is 2 times, 100 times, 1,000 times percent, let them be because it's all legit. As long as the law is able, is there, people continue to maintain, enforce, and reinforce the law. What is it got to do with me? Just because I'm easy to be bullied or I'm innocent like a parent, and they are proud of whatever they do. So Temasek Poly students and design 2-in-1 bag for migrants and youth. So all these are along the way, they find that many of them have, as they go through their life, they find there's some interesting things. They can make money from it. So whatever is design patent, you can make money. The dream can come true. Not saying all this is not possible. So you can have set up in Singapore a company that encourage all kinds of people with creativity and help them to proceed with their designs and with their. Let's say you have a company gathering to all the students, ask them what do you think about this, what do you think about that. They come up with all kinds of not crazy ideas or wild ideas or insane ideas. It's not. Creativity is beyond the universe. It can be because they think more for certain things than for product, consumer, commercial, industrial product. The solutions in our daily activities or our livelihood, our living condition, and our lifestyle is nothing about trying to think about how to destroy the world. Creativity on all this is about relating to our daily way of life. So with this, we can get all the ideas from them and get them cut from the commission by helping them to go through the design patent process. And since they are all the contested lawyers, international patents companies and all this. So they go through it. In the end of the day, when they realize they can help to promote and market and promote. No need to advertise, no more design. In the less cost. Although always say, oh, you need to make money, everything money. And when you have this, you can showcase all this in the shopping centers, all with the government rebates and everything to help them to go in the global in the area in China and with the linking with Chinese manufacturers or Hong Kong and showcase in business in the business in the business in Hong Kong, business in private showcase exhibition. So again, as I said, is as a naughty words is the own self should be telling themselves not to give up and still live. Try to walk on people all these things. That's it in the end of the day. We try to hurry my mind, hurry that is everywhere, all this. That's the point. Why want to make their own life renewable? Go back to themselves, isn't it? When the end of the day, everything's not done. The GST, everything on that one, 造船，造船So that's not the right way, and I read all the right answer. Try to do all the because the many people in Indonesia and everything, they are suffering. Our life in Singapore is still very good. We can have everything we are always pampered and spoiled by the government. Especially after COVID. When you have that weather condition, people tend to appreciate the government except those places that have COVID, then they push the bill. Oh, we don't have to solve any problem for the government since they get a lot of money. That's not what. Just every day we go through our daily activity. What if the whole place all flooded or whatever? How we going to continue to live and shop clothes and all this? How we going to continue this? Our daily activities, our livelihood, our living condition must not be going more negativity, more into positivity, more into positivity. So as I said, travel is easier to try. Maybe they try to play politics this and that, and it doesn't help. Because if you can have it in one level, you can have it in every level. And the green are not doing anything about it. And they suffer themselves. So make the place a much more smart, green and clean home than a home. You say, oh, this place is not nice, go overseas. Overseas is really worse. It's not the money. It's even you go to work, you also have to make your workplace a smart, green and clean. Don't think you're going to check out. No, no, you go, oh my god, worse man, worse than your house. Everything, and no one will improve this our condition, go in other place to work. Go in the office and run things, aircon, everything. Go internet, go switch out, go whatever, talk and for it's just temporary. How many hours? You can delay 5 days time if nobody disturb you. You can be the highest floor in the service office. You can work in 8 hours without people disturbing you, or 9 hours, but still have to go back to your local too. Now faster go back to your local too. Nobody want to leave the office. What kind of world we are creating? Why we must make them to have that negative thoughts, to have that anxiety, the uncertainty, the phobia, and all this. Why we creating mental problems for everybody when they have their own house or wherever they go? In the public places, in the government installation. Why want to instill all this fear, all this uncertainty, all this negative mental, not problem, but mental thinking, negative mental thoughts, negative thinking on them is created by the environment, and it can be created by the device. External, why would we do this to people? That's why, for me, I still continue. Because I've been overseas, I understand how bad outside is. Flying spot for valuables that will find. It's interesting. Whether that is cash, uh, that cash urine, all this shop now, whatever, all this places. So forget about German, say already. What you know about the new called colorist. So it's let me talk about this. A new pick in many countries, US, Singapore, Australia. Because Singapore is an international airport, so many people in and out transit. So the airport itself, the transit area, has continued to improve with the ventilation system, all kinds of equipment, and the ching on all these machines and ventilation system, everything, and continue to improve to detect the virus. This is another barrier camera to this, just in case they measure the temperatures, just in case mock drills to fight this new battle, all those for the India one was true. You see many things happening in Japan. The hospital is Japan doesn't mean the hospital is good. Japan the hospital is also quite bad. Also. Hospital is quite bad. Also. So what else? I think um, Japan the hospital also can be quite bad. So that's one said it. Next one, launch sector help monitor nature. This is very important. So you must continue to have also GPS because that many times. This is about the aperture radar develop, develop space technology. Again, they have research and development in space. And from India, they offer commercial satellite imagery solution, unlocking multiple possibility for commercial application, including hotspot monitoring, oil spill detection, and monitoring. So all this air and maritime search and rescue, all this is not complete. This is part of it, but it can be improved in many areas. Of course, China have the full range of satellites. So in the end of the day, what is more important on the Earth using technology versus in space? Because space is very far, but it's just a breakthrough in R&D and to implement it in the operation. So Samsung to cough out third of a billion for working on users. So again, all these are the pay, this pay that brings down the patent infringement, patent infringement. So all these people are developing it and they have their lawyers to help look for it, or the private investigators look for any companies that infringe their patents, even in China or any other place. So they have to continue to improve on the patents all this in China and what to do. It will take so long to spend money to invent something and yet the things are being sold and doing. So Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback. So Raiders. So let's move on to the next one. Maybe later I'll be going to do this. I'm not sure. Because I have to do my things. Sometimes I'm a bit tired. Lazy Friday, especially the better time. But I will be going to Jules or going to cookies. Because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to cookies. So again, evening, that's evening. So morning I'll be a bit busy. Not really need to go out early. Sometimes they say, oh, please go out early, this is not necessary. I just do my things. Last time when I was in Davao City, they always want to chase me out and do bank too. Wake up ready, after that, slowly take eat, everything okay, exercise, everything, then go. And by the time I go out, 7:30, I say, hey, where's everybody? Everybody won't go out. I'll take a cab all the way to San Pedro, take my breakfast, see what they do, see the nurses and everybody, the school, the people, the staff, and nurses, just understand what it is, what they are doing, and then had an understanding. Then after that, I walk, and then I go to OB, the next day get and sometimes I walk to the guide but it still take a long time, so I go to OB. If I really have nothing to do, I go to a pizza. 7:30, always do the same, and the staff, and then they maybe work on me, and they gather all these people to work on me. And the thought is nice and everything, but again, this kind of living is not what I'm looking for. I say happiness, a good time, and it's comparatively to living in Singapore is better, it's stable. You you look you look at this, you're not able to learn many things if you look at this and learn and share many things with people. You're looking at this one. So overseas is less often travel for me. And going outdoors, you don't learn, you can laptop, you can't learn much. I tried in the hotel, having laptop. I can't learn many things. I'm a learner and also trying to share with people. I cannot share. With my thoughts, the Chinese will try to. They try to allow the Chinese to rule power over others. Why want to allow the Chinese to rule power over others? Or when I'm taking Hokkien and then they just everybody. This is how we train him, or this is how we govern him, this is how we do him and all this. Why want to use him as a scapegoat? Make no sense. And they are actually influencing everybody that when they do this, when I go on my laptops or on a mobile device, very simple, very simple. What's the purpose? When many people they all will be frightened by all this. Why we need to fight with all these people? In the future, arrivals, daily arrivals, are being more and more common. And yet we still cannot manage. Even the Russia-Ukraine war, not growing. So looking at the facts, the problem is ongoing for 7 years. Why want to make everybody their own life difficult? Not my life. But to make their own life difficult and try to at the negative expenses and consequences of others. Everybody has to, every one individual plays a part to contribute to the positivity, because the negative is there. The human itself, themselves, is whether they want to move in positive or negative, but the environment is negative. Higher cost of living is should not environment, whatever. So you see, with this kind of situation, individual must make it more positive to remove the negative in the environment. If not, I'm very sure one of these days, they may not want to lower the price. And when we can eat, if the cycle don't want to start to increase the price, they do increase slightly. But if they increase at the rest, by the fish and chips and all this, in the end, everyone's going to happen to all of us. We have to buy rice from Thailand. I don't eat rice from Thailand, but now it's eating rice from Thailand. So at the end of the day, now you see, everything is facing the same problem. Buying rice from Thailand or from China. So you see, there's so many problems every day, but they still try to take it. Just because they see the world a small perception, a small kind of angle, and they think the world is bad to them and they must destroy and bring everybody to death. Life is meaningful, life is a purpose. Continue to live. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze. I'm actually trying to encourage you to all these things and really. You need to try to show people that I receive more poison in life. My life is worse than others. Although I may have this, although you don't have to. Other people are even more money. At least 5, 10, 20, 100 times a day. I also never regret them. I compare myself. So get ready for Chinese invasion. It's just increasing of the military spend money to borrow, to buy military assets in the military industry, military assets in the industry. Just ban their own industries, but then benefit the rest of the industries. It must be a fair level for benefit for all. And military should not be the first priority, but should be the last resort. And military industry should not be the first priority, but the last resort. So they get it wrong. They just think one man for themselves, this industry benefit for them. Later another industry can benefit. How about the school? This school will not benefit for me. And what about other schools? And if everybody are there, everybody's life will be messed up, even without them because it's a bit of messed up. Today, school of psychology. Tomorrow, school of religion. We must pray to God. One thing of God must pray to this God, pray to that God. And tomorrow on, everybody still after that. Everybody's life all messed up. Saudi company draws unlimited. Imagine water. So again, water is very very basic. So are they going to get a new water back? Of course, I'm expecting. Oh, they want the margins. Yeah, of course. They want margins. Yeah. It's better than that one cannot do. Quarterback is quarterback. They have their skills and talent, and in the end, it's always like that. It's very hard sometimes to, unless you have technology to help them to improve what is their weaknesses, whether their eyes, their arms, their physical, and many other things. So you do not have VAR, video assistant, video assistant, VAR, video assistant referee. So this one they just play with people's mind this and that, and they always try to say I'm being programmed. So everybody is being brainwashed, programmed and conditioned. What I didn't try to prove the way we live our life, whether it's our tradition, our cultures, our language, our everyday living, wake up in the morning. Some people do this, some people do that. Our daily activities, we are being brainwashed and programmed. On our daily activities and conditions, brainwashed, programmed, and conditioned. On our daily activities, even without meaningful device. So you see, all these aunties are just playing politics out, nothing at all, just because they want to be the government counsel or government secretaries. Or some people have hidden agendas or secrets, and they just think that they will be discovered, or they think that some people know. Nobody knows, and they are not chargeable with court, don't see. And don't be suspicious over others by using the device on others. At the end of the day, their hidden agenda and secrets will never be recovered. Will not, they never be revealed. So Apple Air Tech trends. Southwest. So wireless charging is safe. How long is how will it in all this helping the performance, air technology and the performance of auto racing, sports, even the preparation for the Olympics. So some of this they will help them even in soccer. Technology is to be with, to assist with games in LA to Las Vegas, games in high-speed train. So now they get to do continue the government, they want to be relevant and American in that way, to continue with the train connectivity like the olden days, back to the back to the past, of the basics, back to the basics, the basics, everything, high-speed train between cities in the state and between state and state. All this is possible in America. So in the end of the day, it doesn't have to be Chinese train, but it can be South Korean, it can be Japan, it can be even Singapore design patent trains or things in the basic one. So I need China's H64. So in all this the Russian DNA. So all this try to not able to be by their own creativity, so they base on conversion and designs or patents. So there warning to American traveling vote over the heavy duty truck emission rules. So Virginia can complete black. So the same channel in the so Jehovah's Witness is a cult, and it's where normally many girls will be like mass orgies and rape by the pastors and Jehovah's Witness is a cult. They can have like mass orgies and in Philippines it's quite we have lots of Jehovah's Witnesses and fellow after going to the world. And sometimes the church in the church. Yeah, that's all. Last one, 7 place to explore. Jeju. Jeju is a very nice place, but it's going to rain and rain certain time. It's going to snow, and then you have see, the beauty of it. They have actually lots of places in the north, the south, the west, east, and west of east. But anyway, the hotels also, but it's a cool place. You have to bring all your Uniqlo clothes to get ready. And living in that kind of condition, I wouldn't, because if you live in a hostel, what is it? Common toilet. You live in a hotel, it's expensive. Unless you have an apartment. Unless you have an apartment to stay. If the apartment stays, then in the end it's not like that. But again, the island is faced with bad weather condition, the windy condition, the lowering of the temperatures, the rain, and very high possibility of snow. So there's only just to go there for visit for a while, and then after that, just once you know that place, I think that could be a challenge. So you want to go during the summer, during the May, June, and July. So that's how they're trying to play the people's mind. That, that's how they want to try to play people's mind. They always don't stay indoor. What's wrong with not staying indoor? It's my own house. So most of us they just try to play politics. Everything they do, they are just playing politics. And when I say not enough and they believe, how many do not take the price they are going to sacrifice to take? So in the end of the day, then I say, please write you. 5 private islands in Malaysia considered for each escape. So these are the islands interesting that beach resort in JB. So there's this one, see this one first, and let's see what else. So, six. So five. So this is the 5 private islands around Malaysia. Consider so they can write down where the like you put Penang, Pulau Rendang I went there before. It's quite boring and too much. Langkawi and Pulau Pinang, so it's boring. I never been to Vietnam. Then also you have this Lawa Island, Wibak Island, Tukang, Pokong Island. Some people like the beach, Sempona, Sabah, Malukan Island, Kota Kinabalu. Sounds like very nice. But I said it's only for a short trip. Just go there and just watch the story unfold. You don't care about the world. If you have money like in Canada, they have lots of money every month, their money is strong. So in the end of the day, their money is strong. So it's just wherever they are in their own place, you just delay 5 years time. These people can afford to delay 5 years time, not me. And people that are in this resort, they can delay 5 years time. But anyone in Singapore will delay, especially when the money is no need to resort to go too far because many people have money. So you see things in the end everybody you see the luxury house bought by property not by rich people, local people, property agents or any other people, by companies to strengthen their portfolio because they want to lend, borrow from the banks or from financial institutions. Some are investment companies. So you can see that all this is always everyday constantly speaking about if they are working in a company environment or if they have extra money. But for me, I don't. I am always live simple content. So you must start from basic, always start from basic. Do not be over ambitious. Even the basics will be like, again, you see like from Singapore 2025. So that's where it's so now. So it'll be fantastic knowing that by the time many people. And then, so again, this the trade, Japan will price increase. Everything increase. Okay, now Singapore money is stronger than Japan. But Japan's now it's not the chance of people. But so again, the beach resort in JB provide for a quick and getaway. So our country's ranking will be first will be UK, EU, America in terms will overcome. But the third one is actually Japan right now to overcome. Japan. So most likely China will do it to strengthen Singapore. But when you strengthen, don't blame China. Because in the end of the day, if Singapore cannot manage the price of whatever, then many things is going to go up. It can go up all over the world. It can go up in Philippines, and can go up in American and its airlines. This is a fact. I'm saying. It's not say it's must. This is the trend. So in that way, we must at the same time manage the price. Manage the price, right? For the next 2025. And when you manage the price, then but the rest of the country they raise the price too bad. They cannot manage it too bad. So we must continue to increase the contain the price and manage the price. And let it spiral within 1 month or half a year, 1 year. The borders between Malaysia and each and every they look at the percentage of increase. So we borders between Malaysia and Singapore. So you opening up this the perfect time to pursue some kind of borders wine. And then let's look at this JB. You have the Desaru, so you have 1, 2, Desaru 4, and Rawa Island is becoming more and more popular. And Sari and Resort and Spa. So one and only Desaru closed says for the beach and everything. But again, as I said, just share views, opinion, and comment. I'm not creating people to whatever you see, that's a human brain. Whatever you see, or whatever you hear, it may be connected, but actually it's not. So try not to connect. If you do not want to connect, so it is in and out. So this facing long islands reforms, things that I think all these people they can afford. So will there be more rich people? You're right. Oh, many of them are because they're making money from some other source. Actually, there's a So let's move on. The next one, to early application about Japan. When you go after the early, because I know what's the trick. So I go out a bit late because that's why people are only after 11, the shop are open, and many people start to go for their lunch. And I see more activities during the lunch compared to the 3 o'clock maximum to work. In Alpha, they always open after 10:30, 10 or 11. The morning one is the fight scene one. Movies, they have the fight scene one. They have a two different SS division, but then later the shop open as a fight scene. So they do not they because they more on the night activities, afternoon and dinner people after work they move in or by this by dining in, hanging around, maybe drinking all this. Um, in this um, Changi Airport, of course, is just a multi jewel and certain operating hours for the tourists and lunchtime and dinner for the locals. But I like so because now Jewel has become a place for the foreigners. As long as they are tourists, they just come pass by before they take off, or they just sometimes will hang around to dine, to wine and dine in the restaurants or buy things. So you can see mixtures, but you can see also a lot of foreigners. They are tourists who transit, they are living Singapore, they have a good meal before they leave. It's a very beautiful place. So what we know about Japan, because as you know again, arriving in year 202, that would also help when we have a second casino and a strip, casino strip. casino street, we call it, like walking street. We have a few casino, MGM, that Genting can go there, or we can have like all the Las Vegas casino, we can go there, or Venetian, Marina Bay, they got one Sands, go there and street. So when you all this, the weak currencies will be weakened. The currencies will be weakened. So I'm very sure in time, but it's too slow. So what happened to this time? It will be very expensive in Japan, and many prices will go up. The China goods all going to Japan can go up. But it depends on the variety of this. China goods have ranges of prices. So Philippines, low price according to their cost of living. But some of them will be expensive, so they're mixed. The Chinese is in control of consumer, commercial, industry. So again, they can control the whole world with their consumer, commercial industry. They can increase the price and they look at what is common sense logic and everything. May not really, but they're actually thinking more about China. So in the end of the day, not thinking about more for China. So in the end of the day, we want to bring down China, not possible. We want to bring down China's civilization, not possible. The only way we will not need to bring down, but to overcome them with wisdom. But at the moment, it's not possible. So that's why I say each and every country, the government must manage the price. Why? Don't blame China. Don't blame Russia. Don't blame America. Blame themselves for not being able to manage their own problem in their own country. Everywhere is opportunists. If you have money, people will come to you. Hey, you want to buy this, buy that, buy that, buy this. Even if you got no money, people will also come to them and say, hey, want to buy this, buy that, buy that, buy this. So in the end of the day, it's you yourself, know yourself, and overcome the problem, your own problem, not overcome the problem that is. They can try to create a problem on you, but you try to know yourself to overcome the problem. Nobody wants to be part of it. It can be external forces, not internal forces. So in the end, don't try to create all China, China civilization, America, all this. Until it's just diverting and diverting and decoying the main problem away from herself and the rest into using someone as a splinter. How many, who are we going to sacrifice today? What entity will we sacrifice? That's all. Why not entity? We all sacrifice entity today, isn't it? So you see, if everybody plays the game like this, it becomes negative. It becomes politics. It becomes distrust between among themselves. That's why I say this type of thing, it makes no sense. For past 50 years, last time because of HDB, all moved into HDB. We have to try to spy, surveillance, monitor, observe people. And then Auntie Boeing, Auntie have to focus on Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, the kind of situation. They have to divert and away their own problems away so that they can focus the, their, not to let people know their own problem, but to focus on other people's problem. That is their main intention until to this very day. That is not the way. It's the weakness of the Singapore system because it's continue to help them certain percentage of people to continue to live their livelihoods. But what about the rest of the people? It doesn't mean we're not doing anything. Am I not helping everybody to better understand? Are we not supposed to overcome the rising cost of living, which is so ever important? So we must focus the right problem than focusing on my problem, my personal problem, Mr. A person problem, Mr. B person problem, Mr. C person problem. Right? So must have the I'm not critical of the government because at the end of the day, like I say, increase 10% tomorrow, I no problem. Increase 50% GST, I no problem. Increase 20% GST, I no problem. But what about the rest of the people here? What about the rest of the people? Then somebody say, 大家快点玩啊，玩也是 again, next move on, come for the 人在江湖这边 then go back to their South China Sea and run across the sea. So facing the facts, they are not facing the facts, they are living the unreal world. What is the unreal world and the real world? So at the end of the day, they are not facing the facts. They are just trying to divert their attention away, nothing better to do, all people together and focus one person's attention, just using them to see. But now then the lesson had kind of you Mercedes, you have to pay the bills, 1,000 a month or 2,000 or 5,000 a month. So you have more bills to pay. So he's creating a lesson. And have not a lot of bone young or what is the power call any time to go to any electricity to power call any time. Then they are. So you must see it's not keeping up with the Joneses. That is the weakness of the American model. Don't compare others. Compare yourself. Why you got Mr. A's neighbor, the next door, have Mercedes, they want a Mercedes. Mr. B has Ferrari, after you got Mercedes, tomorrow next door got the new Mercedes of Ferrari. It never ends. Don't form the trap. This is how the naughty boys will destroy themselves because their thinking is negative. Their thinking is negative. Every day they think negative, why don't they go outside and kill people? So next, what you know about some of these people. And then they say, oh, I'm negative. It's the device. It's satanic. Playing politics. Force, even, and beyond human. They think they are beyond, oh, they are flying, they are Jesus Christ, they are God. I'm a Jesus Christ, they are God. And they think that way. When I was in this Davao city, they say I'm in the Jesus Christ. I say, how can I be a Jesus Christ in Vietnam? How can I be Jesus Christ? I'm a human mode, I got God mode, I got Jesus Christ, human perception. They are creating a wider divide between them. Lesser have and have not. They are have not. They want to be lesser have. But in the end of the day, when someone asks them to pay or asks them to pay GST, they realize they are living in a real world instead of a illusive world. The other one see a psychiatrist, all these people. The more they harden their mind, they think their minds are made of rocks. Then you tell this to psychiatrist, their minds are made of rocks and stones. That's how they harden their mind, not harden their mind. I'm just trying to counter whatever negativity. So Oriental guest goes land to see the new documentary statement. What to expect from a new pen Pacific photos. Again, they say it's very nice. So they oh my god, beautiful pen Pacific. So I think I already said all this already. I just play. Let me see whether I just supposed to see the new. Yes. This kind of big one. Is it real? Yes. They change color. They choose the color like this. They choose the color so interesting. Is it the water or they say it's the like gene evolution give inside the body. Gene. So it's technology, so gene evolution. Technology is research more. Gene evolution. So use technology to research the gene evolution as system and with people in doing the research and development. Oh, Robert, see the now. Okay, that's all. I have to prepare to go outdoors to see. Sometimes don't feel like doing anything. See the news of the name of the time. Listen to news.
Today at the TV Farmers. Doing well. Friday on CNE. One last cheer. One last look.
1971 is the tallest waterfall in the world.
Outside will count.
Victory whether he performed
Got one or two birds. Outside count them regular. No need to, they like to go there.
It's 9:30 Singapore Hong Kong time. Here's another look at our top stories. Facing down the North Korea threat, the US and South Korea toughen their alliance with a new nuclear deterrence plan as President Biden sends out a warning to Pyongyang.
Nuclear attack by North Korea against the United States, its allies, and partisan partners is unacceptable and will result in the end of whatever regime takes such an action.
Singapore steps up measures to cool its red-hot housing market. Taxes increased on private property purchases, including a doubling of stamp duties for foreigners in a move to promote a sustainable property market. Property counters declining in early trade this morning as investors react to the latest moves. But some broadening concerns for a tech recession. Samsung Semiconductor division posts a record loss. The world's largest chip manufacturer is facing weak demand for tech devices. Shipping companies here in Singapore will soon have access to the 5G network for potential flight and debt situations at sea. But the technology is also said to be a game changer across the maritime sector, including security, surveillance, and onboard welfare checks. Lily Chu reports.
You get a gash while carrying out duties on board, but there's no medical help in sight. Who do you call? The test doctor, of course. And 5G technology is making all this possible. From the high-speed video consult to the drones delivering medical supplies.
Because the coverage is seamless, the drone works fantastically well. And in a small yacht that we were in today, with a very small landing area, the drone still managed to drop the medicine in the landing area of a yacht. Now imagine there's a ship, the landing area is much bigger.
Telecommunications company M1 and healthcare company Fullerton Health are rolling out the service this July for seafarers and shipping companies. It's part of broader plans to provide 5G offshore coverage for the southern coast of Singapore.
What we saw was a reenactment of what the future holds with better connectivity through 5G. It could improve access to mental health and save lives. Even though the demo was specific to the maritime industry, the implications of 5G are widespread.
Also being rolled out, 5G maritime applications for surveillance, security, and wearable tech for health checks. It all ties into Singapore's plans for a maritime 5G network across anchorages, fairways, port terminals, and boarding grounds. When completed by mid-2025, it will make Singapore the first port in the world to provide full 5G connectivity across its port waters.
Yes.
And already, 5G is gaining ground in multiple applications across various sectors.
That can apply to so many different businesses from maritime, but also health, payments, supply chain, manufacturing, buildings, retail, so many different areas. And when you start to layer technology such as AI and machine learning into video feeds and information, that starts to then further evolve the way you can interact and provide value to the consumer or value to the businesses that you're working with.
Even before 5G takes full flight, Mr. Yong says countries are more opportunistic now, with some nations setting their sights on 6G connectivity.
Women workers at sea are still a rare sight. The shipping industry has some of the lowest numbers of women in the workforce. According to a study conducted by All Aboard Alliance, established under the Global Maritime Forum, women make up less than 2% of the global seafaring population. The 15 key pain points the study found could be grouped into 4 categories. They note that women face challenges in succeeding professionally at sea, and there's the challenging social relations on board and the physical conditions. All the board clients are now working on co-designing development solutions to address each of these challenges. A pilot phase will be launched later this year. That's when selected vessels will test proposed solutions. The goal to make a career at sea more inclusive and attractive for women seafarers. And to help us understand these key pain points for diversity at sea and how to overcome them, we're joined by Suyin Anand, co-chair of All Board Alliance. Suyin, thanks for speaking to me this morning. Let's start with the Diversity at Sea report. It identified 15 key pain points that fall into 4 broader categories. Let's work our way through them. The first one being difficulty of succeeding professionally. What does that mean?
Thank you, Steve. And first, I want to say thanks for taking time to have me on the show. I'm really, really proud of the work that All the Board Alliance has done in putting together this report. To give some context, I've been in the industry for close to 2 decades now, and I think this is the first time that we've had a coalition of the willing, close to 60 companies come together to actually shed transparency on the challenges faced by female crew at sea. To answer your point, I think we have to accept that, like many other industries, the shipping industry is a very male-dominated industry, and as a result of it being male-dominated, there are various gender stereotypes that come through, both in the corporate workspace and more importantly on board ships. Some of these issues are around women not being as strong as men, and I mean any of us have been to a CrossFit gym recently, we know that actually women can be as strong, if not stronger than some men. And there are also conceptions like, well, women need to work harder than the men in order to progress, whether it's a career at sea or more generally in the maritime industry. So I think when it comes to challenges faced by women succeeding professionally in the maritime industry, the first step that we need to do is actually to find ways and solutions to overcoming these types of gender stereotypes, and for all of us in the industry to be more aware of our unconscious biases and to deal with them head on.
And the second category involves how social relations on board can be especially challenging for women at sea. Could you elaborate?
Life at sea is not easy. If you think about it, the average seafarer would spend anywhere between 4 to 10 months on board the ship, with between 15 to 20 other crew members. As a female at sea, if you are just in the minority, it can be isolating. I think to connect to the story that you read earlier in terms of 5G, having 5G internet connectivity at ports and on ships, connectivity hasn't really been present on board ships until very recently. So being a minority on board a ship without having your social environment and social support network around you, and not being able to connect to your social support network that you have at home can be very isolating. So I think that creates some frustration for women at sea. And then you bring in the gender stereotypes when males feel more superior than they are to females. I think it just creates this imbalance in terms of power structure and hierarchy on board ships that can make relationships between female crew members and their male compatriots difficult to manage.
Another aspect is the systemic employment challenges at sea. When you're on land, it's easier to balance work and family compared to long stints at sea, as you alluded to. Employers know this as well, and it can impact recruitment, can't it?
Yes, it can. I mean, we take a lot of things for granted, right? We come to work at, 8, 9 a.m. in the morning, and then we make plans to go out and meet our friends in the evening. We have a 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 job, depending on what your definition of work-life balance is. But it's not as easy when you are a seafarer, regardless of whether you're male or female. Contracts for seafarers are on a fixed-term basis, anywhere, like I said, between 4 to 10 months, depending on where you are in terms of work experience. And during those 4 to 10 months, we spend basically every day at sea. There are also issues around shore access, alleviated by some of the lockdowns that we saw during the pandemic. And on top of that, it's for females having a family, maternity leave. Contracts currently are not structured in a way that would allow for maternity leave. So I think this is a really systematic or systemic issue that we have within the industry, It's how can we actually create a more equitable workplace to include people different gender situations, particularly females, and how can we actually design the role in order to fit the requirements for female crew. No answers to this yet, but I think this is what makes the All Aboard Alliance really interesting because we're looking to solve and come up with solutions to some of these problems.
Yeah, the final category relates to the physical conditions on board. These might seem small, but they can make a big difference.
Yes, they can. And it's really glad to see that these issues are being called out in the report because to me they're really low hanging fruit. Things like personal protective equipment. It's a one size fits all for men, but women tend to be smaller built. So why can't we just manufacture PPEs that can fit women and that women feel more comfortable in? Designing the spaces on board ships to have bathrooms for females. Making the workplace more comfortable for females. And even things like, equipping bathrooms with sanitary napkins for females. These are all very low-hanging fruit that the industry can do today, that we can action today in order to make the workplace more attractive for females. So yeah, we can do it in the corporate workplace, if we can do it at ports, we can do it on airplanes, why can't we do this aboard a ship?
Exactly. Now, a lot of these issues involve the attitudes of men. So what progress is being made to foster a culture where the men at sea treat the women with respect and as equal peers? Because there's still work to be done with that on land.
Yes, there is, and I think that's a great question. And to be fair about this, I don't think that this is an issue that is faced purely by the maritime industry. It's not unique to us. Many industries are very male dominated. So I think as the first step, it does come with having a mindset shift. At the very basic level, we need to be really aware of what our unconscious bias are. We then need to implement training onshore first to ensure that the leaders of companies, the senior executives of companies, are conscious about creating work processes, workflows, and a work environment that is inclusive of both males and females. We can't expect the mindset at sea to change if we're not changing mindsets for sure. Secondly, we need to understand that each ship is its own entity. And what I mean by that is that it's very hierarchical. The workplace on board ship is hierarchical and it's strongly dominated by the culture of the senior officers that are on board the ships. We need to accept that seafarers, particularly senior seafarers, are senior leaders. So if we are investing in rolling out leadership training to onshore management onshore, why is it that we're not investing the same in ensuring that senior officers on board ships are equipped with the skill sets to manage people and are also trained and also get access to leadership training? It's very technical, the seafarer's job. And from what I understand, a lot of seafarers climb the career ladder just by being excellent at what they do technically. But being a very strong technical expert doesn't necessarily mean that they are equipped with people management skills. So I think it really comes with training and that training to drive a mindset shift and really holding senior management accountable for ensuring that they are creating an inclusive workplace at shore and aboard ships, where we can all, regardless of whether you're male or female, bring our good selves to work.
Thank you very much for your time this morning. I have to leave that now. Suyin Anand, co-chair of All Aboard Alliance.
Let's look at Chinese industrial firms see a continued decline in profits in the first 3 months of the year. We'll get you the latest numbers. And the world's largest memory chip maker posts its worst quarterly profit in 14 years. We'll unpack Foxconn's latest earnings report card and discuss what's ahead for the ailing chip sector for next decade.
Hello there, sitting there, but no breakfast.
The assumption is that the business person must have done something wrong. It's a more complex issue.
There is a lot riding on Thailand's main port in Poles.
ประชาชนการเกิดเหตุมาเกิดมีปัญหาในด้านการเศรษฐกิจจริงและภาวะการเงินลงทุนจริง
From a burgeoning debt crisis
It's hard to get a handle on why debt is so high. To democratic reforms.
คนรวยกับในตอนนั้นก็ที่เป็นหลักมากการที่รณรงค์ให้ตำรวจทำได้ทำมาเอง
What's at stake in Thailand's election? Insight tonight on CNN.
This May, traverse from the high octane of Asia's urbanisation to the calm realm of its natural wonder. Journalist Jill Lee rediscovers her roots in the world's K-pop capital and examines how the city continues to evolve.
There's this tension of old and new.
She sidetracks South Korea with access to a rich and diverse world of outstanding wildlife in a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Singapore Botanic Gardens, like you've never seen it before. 1 year in the gardens. A world without elements or terms. Who are the trailblazing environmentalists making it their life's mission to save these species? The mass extinction. This May on CNN. Next time on Japan Hour. Saturday on CNA. Japan Hour is brought to you by Sumitomo Corporation. And Super Summer Sales now available with daily flights.
Sleep apnea and the dangers it poses. There can be repeated dips in the oxygen level, sometimes down to as low as 60%.
A pillow that might help snorers.
They emit a magnetic interference field.
And how sleep, or the lack of it, affects our spinal health.
During the sleep, the body regenerates tissues, even rehydrate part of the spine.
On the Pulse, Saturday on CNN.
Well, the Investor Asia first a bump on China's road to recovery with continued declines in industrial profits in first quarter. The contraction eased slightly to 21.4% one year in January to March, compared to a nearly 23% slump in the first 2 months of the year. Analysts had been expecting a narrower contraction of minus 11%. Industrial output rose 4% on year in March, but producer prices continue to decline. We'll take a look at market reactions out of Greater China. The Shanghai Composite down about 0.16%. Shenzhen a touch underwater. Hang Seng is moving higher by about 0.1%. South Korean tech giant Samsung has reported its worst quarterly profit in 14 years as prices for memory chips continue to soar with waning demand. Samsung reported operating profit of about $480 million, down 95% from a year ago. Profit for its key business, that's the chip unit, was the biggest drag on growth, reporting a loss of $3.4 billion. The loss highlights concerns about a broad tech recession that's hit the world's biggest names from Apple to Intel. Samsung expects a recovery in the second half in smartphones and displays driven by Chinese recovery. And Duhan Park, Director of Corporate Ratings at Asia Pacific at S&P Global Ratings, joins us now. Samsung earnings and Apple fiscus its worst results since 2009. What is your take on that?
Yes, thank you for having me today. So Samsung reported quite substantial losses from their semiconductor business. As you mentioned, this is the first time since 2009. So this is associated with pretty tough operational condition and deep downturn of semiconductor industry. So most of the weak performance is stemming from their semiconductor business. So the overall demand for memory chip remains pretty weak. That's from the weak end market demand, such as smartphone, PC, and then other IT devices, as well as low investment for internet data center and cloud. So that is dragging down company's overall performance. But like on company-wise, the company maintains modest profit. So the company's other business, such as smartphone, looks more resilient compared with semiconductor.
But as far as the Hynix, Samsung is blaming a chip glut for this weaker performance, and Samsung earlier finally just agreed to a production cut. What is your outlook for tech spending this year?
Yes, for the tech spending, the capital investment for the semiconductor player, Hynix already mentioned they're going to cut capex quite significantly. So they plan to cut more than half for compared with last year. And Samsung didn't comment that much like a capex cut, but they mentioned that they will invest more for the research and development and the infrastructure. So that means they can also flexibly manage the output. So supply side, there could be some adjustment, but the issue is the demand is still very weak for the semiconductor sector. And also the investment level is very much elevated. During the first quarter, I think that the company made strong efforts to adjust inventory, but inventory has gone further in the first quarter. So it could take time, and we are not expecting like a meaningful rebound or recovery in the second quarter. The timing of recovery is more likely to be sometime later this year, like second half of this year.
Also, I want to talk a bit about the semiconductor showdown we're seeing between the US and China on the industry. With the US planning to keep semiconductor tech out of China, how big an impact could this have?
Yeah, there was impact on Korean semiconductor players. The Hynix and Samsung, they both have manufacturing facilities in mainland China. But in terms of exposure, Hynix has bigger exposure to mainland China, and they are facing restrictions to procure semiconductor equipment from because of the regulation from the US. So, but they got at least they got waivers. So for the timing, there should be no direct impact, but this is the ongoing issue. So over the longer term, these companies will face more difficulties in terms of making technological advancement in their in China. So I expect the company's investment going forward will be more towards South Korea or other countries rather than China.
Let's take a look at some of the other bright spots. So very quickly, what are the avenues of demand, if not consumers buying PCs and other tech devices, maybe AI, EVs? How much could it give the industry?
Yeah, that's the kind of fundamental structural change. So there will be ongoing demand growth for memory chips from the increased utilization of AI technology or cloud or like a data center. And also the EV can also support demand growth for the semiconductor in the medium to longer term. But at this stage, like in the short term, they are facing pretty strong operational headwinds. Demand is pretty much subdued, and another issue is inventory. So their customer enterprise, they have built up quite large inventory already. So it is taking time to further inventory destocking. So that's another reason for pretty weak demand for overall memory sector. So despite the additional demand from AI or EV, in the near term, the companies are highly likely to face operational pressure.
Well, many thanks for joining us this morning. Jin Hong Kong, there, Director of Corporate Ratings for Asia Pacific, S&P Global Ratings. And that is your business topic. Now, Julie Steve, back to you.
All right, Liz, thank you so much. Now, research shows singles in the U.S. fork out thousands of extra dollars on rent in what's being called a singles tax, because as more Americans are unpartnered, meaning neither married nor living with a partner than ever before.
In the next episode, CNN correspondent Sally Patterson examines the price that solar living carries in New York City.
Roland Martinez often works 10 days a week, roasting coffee by day and behind the desk at night. But without a partner to split expenses with, he's had to find innovative ways to stay on top of the rent. Roman had hoped to live in his Harlem apartments alone, but a change in circumstance stopped his plans in their tracks.
The rent was like a boost went up another $250, which is not an insane amount, but in long perspective, it could really be affecting. And as I was already, you're kind of riding on the edge of his moving along, I needed to find something a little bit more stable because our job, through the pandemic, a lot of people left this area. So my coffee shop wasn't quite so, we didn't know if we were going to make it. And yeah, so I brought in roommate, and we took over the second bedroom. Now I left that up to him.
Roman's situation is not unique. Research shows singles in the USA fork out thousands of extra dollars on rent in what's being called a singles tax. And a study from the Pew Research Center shows more Americans are unpartnered, meaning not married nor living with a partner, than ever before. Soaring inflation has had a knock-on effect on rental prices, while record high interest rates mean the market's even tighter than usual.
So if mortgage rates are high, people tend to stay in the rentals market for longer. Right now, the average age of a first-time homebuyer is around 37 years old. Before the pandemic, it was around 33 or 34 years old. So people are staying in the rentals market for longer, just putting that additional pressure on the rentals market and causing prices to rise.
New York City is one of the world's most expensive places to live, tied only with Singapore, according to 2022 data. Data from Street Easy shows the average studio costs $2,900 per month. In Manhattan, that jumps to almost $3,200 or $4,000 for a one-bedroom, meaning many are choosing to live further out instead.
There's been a lot of the surrounding neighborhoods, or boroughs rather, in terms of housing. We have a lot of pressure on Atlantic City, Brooklyn, Queens as well. Where we're seeing people start to move a little bit outside of the immediate Manhattan area in order to stay close.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, people left the city in droves, easing pressure on the market and forcing prices down to their lowest levels in years. But people are steadily returning, sending rent soaring once again. And without more economical housing options, being single is fast becoming a luxury that many can't afford. Sally Jackson, CNA, New York.
Living alone certainly has its perks, like you don't have to share a bathroom, you have everything to be all by yourself, but it looks like freedom comes with a cost here.
Yeah, so you got that representing a bit of money. They all sort of live alone and they're single apartments. But the jokes aside, the cost of living only ever seems to go one direction. Remember, we had that story today about another round of cooling measures to Singapore's apartment market as the government tries to rein in skyrocketing prices. The demand, she said, is strong.
That's right, and that is that round of cooling that we in December 2021. Although you might be still want to find in the property. And that is the first for today. Thank you very much. Yeah, join us again for more tomorrow, and don't forget to check our headlines anytime at KNA.com.
Plus, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as well.
Sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Doing well. Ready on CNN.
The Filipino spirit of fighting has never been the Filipino people's crusade, fighting for better lives, wilderness, and
Your headline news this hour. Singapore steps up measures to cool its red-hot housing market. Taxes increased on private property purchases, including the doubling of stamp duty for foreigners, in a move to promote a sustainable housing market. Property counters are declining in early trading morning as investors react to the latest round of cooling measures.
In a conference putting in the 2018, the demand accelerated in the before more than New Year reaction. So there was a slowdown in terms of the demand and including less than 1% on the research factors.
Singapore lender UOB posts better than expected results for the March quarter. Net profits are up more than 50% on year. Broadly concerns for a tech recession, Capcom Semiconductor Division posted record loss. The world's largest chip manufacturer is facing weak demand for tech devices. And facing down the North Korea threat, the U.S. and South Korea toughened their alliance with a new nuclear deterrence plan. President Biden sends out a warning coming out.
Nuclear attacks by North Korea against the United States, its allies, and partners is unacceptable and will result in the end of whatever regime will take such an action.
And that's the latest from the CNN Newsroom.
The goal for the next 5 years is to continue this extension of nuclear power to really nuclear power approved every year. Thousands of people
worldwide are hot on lists and many dying races. But 3 decades ago, scientists predicted a world where instead of waiting, we could order organs on demand.
I'm talking about bioprinting, the exciting future of 3D printing technology.
Operating the moon is possible, and then after the future of it, we'll be able to make it viable for humans to live on that. Could save a lot of lives.
A lot of the common disease today can be solved.
Full disclosure though, I still haven't get a family history of heart disease. And it's always at the back of my mind that I might one day have to deal with it. Why? What if, as scientists predicted, I could at some point just print myself a brand new heart? That would be something new. Exactly how close are we?
I know what you're thinking. What does this guy know about the future? That's the thing. I'm no expert.
Oh boy. Feel like I'm giving birth to aliens.
What?
Oh, there you go. Right there. Wow. Digital biomarker.
Yeah, I'm back already.
All these buzzwords are supposed to change the way we live forever.
I'm going to
I want
Bugis.
to end that conversation to find out
However, I never been. Maybe I go. I'll go to Bugis first.
about the bioprinting. Full disclosure, I have never seen a 3D printer in my life. And I always thought we should go to some industrial warehouse to check one, right? But guess what? Here I am at that Bugis Regional Library for a 3D printing workshop. Hakim Teo is one of the library's resident 3D printing experts. His team has conducted workshops since 2018, bringing a seemingly inaccessible technology to people like me.
So actually 3D printing lasts really.
How long would something like this take?
So this takes about 3 to 4 hours.
Why would someone 3D print a vase rather than buy one of this few minutes?
Well, actually, 3D printers, you can also personalize and customize your 3D printed items. So that actually brings me to something that you previously mentioned, that you have some wireless earphones that are not in color, I think.
What? You just said 3D printing is a bit complicated. So she decided one day it might be a good idea for her to chew off the lid of my wireless earphone with.
Alright, so what you can do is we are not too very interested. You can actually have a solution for your printed record.
Whoa, look at that. That is wild, bro.
Printing starts with a spool of plastic filament, which is fed into a heating element and melted.
The melted plastic serving as the printed ink is then deposited on a platform, a layer by layer pattern. In less than half an hour, there you go. Oh, man. Ta-da! This is unreal. You just designed this. What other applications does 3D printing have that can push the envelope for the boundaries in the future?
There are a lot of industries that are adopting that 3D printing right now. Most notably about medical, healthcare. It's actually doing 3D bioprinting. Instead of using plastic, they actually use 3D cells to create good working organisms.
Imagine if you have organ failure, right, and go see a doctor.
And then after the future of it, any tissue that you want and replace that with the ones that you have, which are damaged.
Just personalized.
So back in 2004, 10-year-old Luke Marcella became the first recipient of a 3D printed human bladder. He had a dysfunctional, defective bladder, but after receiving these 3D printed bladder implants, he was able to pass urine perfectly. And that got me thinking, if nearly 20 years ago they were able to print a human bladder, then I know what I want next. I want a new heart. A new 3D heartfelt request. Professor Yong Wai-Yi, she is one of the leading experts in the field of 3D bioprinting, having co-authored a 270-page textbook about it. Prof, I'm here because I want to print a 3D heart.
Okay, I'm going to do this. Make some preparations. Maybe I go to Paluda, I'm not sure. Maybe.